I'm Zoe Delahunty-Light, and having spent over 80 hours and counting with Horizon Forbidden West and having reached the level cap, there's a lot of things I've learned that's helped me out and generally avoided putting Aloy through violent, wince-inducing deaths. This video is spoiler-free and contains stuff you need to know as soon as you start, as there are loads of new mechanics to familiarise yourself with, and, to be honest, if you're like me, all the tutorials in the opening hours might be a bit too much for your brain to fully digest. If that's the case, don't worry, no shame in it, and I've got your back. On the Eurogamer channel, you'll also find my advanced tips video linked in the pinned comment, made especially for when you're further along in Horizon Forbidden West, as it has some light spoilers for enemies and whatnot. So, here's 17 Horizon Forbidden West tips you need to know. There's 6 skill trees to choose from, but it's the Infiltrator tree, which is focused on stealth and all the death that comes with it, that becomes overpowered fairly quickly. The main stealth ability is Silent Strike, my all reliable, and beefing it up in the Infiltrator skill tree eventually gets you a health boost whenever you do one, meaning I sometimes had a health of close to 1,000 after one sneak attack. If enemies eventually discover you, though may you always walk in shadows, quiet one, it's very fitting that this extra health is gold because it's worth its weight in that precious metal. The associated Valor Surge you unlock is just as powerful, however, I'll go into more detail about that in the advanced tips video. Explore even a little bit and you'll find that small bits of the map are blocked off, with an icon even appearing on the map to show which places you can't access yet. To get into these enigmatic spaces you'll need special gear, but the only way to get said gear is to progress the main quest. I'm not going to give away specifically when during the quest you get certain tools, but be aware that some of them come quite far into the game. Either mainline the quest to get all the new gear, or do something I can never do and just be patient. Know that hiding behind most of these blocked bits of the map is usually just loot, so you're not missing out on loads of side quests or secrets or anything. You can glide straight onto mountainsides and climbing points as long as there are said points. Some mountainsides don't have any handholds for Aloy to grip, so make sure to do a quick focus pulse before you catapult Aloy headfirst into it. Whenever you come across a workbench, you should be trying to upgrade either your armour, weapons, or pouches. Kill critters during your travels and you'll likely already have parts for a first round of upgrades super quickly, as pouch upgrades always require solely animal parts and don't use machine resources at all. Lower level upgrades for your weapons and armour use machine resources however, but the first round is always easy to get, so it's worth making a little detour to get the required parts. Each level of upgrade not only makes the armour or weapons stronger, but gets you extra specialised skill buffs, and unlocks weaves or coils for the item. These are mods you can add to your gear that make it elementally resistant, more damaging at range, etc, etc. Don't ever sell all of your machine resources, as you never know when you might need all those lenses or hearts for later upgrades. Keep checking the workbench regularly, as you'll probably have collected the necessary parts without even realising it. Those machine resources I just mentioned that are necessary for upgrades are harder to come across than in Zero Dawn. Unlike in the first game, in Horizon Forbidden West you need to shoot the parts you need off of machines. If you kill the machine, the specific parts you need, like a clawback's razor tail for example, will be destroyed along with the machine, or they can be damaged during the fight, rendering them useless. So, remember to tag them in your focus before diving into battle. Tagging parts makes them glow bright pink so you know where to aim or what not to damage, and make sure to look at the machine in the focus or in your notebook to check whether the parts you need has any special requirements to remain usable. I thought these barrels were just environmental set dressing, but no, they sometimes have stuff in them in the form of barrel supplies. It's always worth checking, especially early in the game when you're filling up your inventory. Forget everything games have taught you about weak points. In Horizon Forbidden West, machines do not have any collective singular weakness, so don't bother about headshots or aiming for the eyes. Shooting their legs makes them fall over, giving you some breathing room to craft or hide, but you should be aiming to tear off components whenever you can. Trust me, this matters much more than dealing damage. Use tear blast arrows, or look out for arrows in your hunter bow and sharpshooter bow with the highest tear amount rather than damage, as hitting components with tear damage will dislodge them from the machine and reduce its overall health. Getting rid of these components will also reduce the number of attacks enemies can do, which is helpful for obvious reasons. Detach enough components and the machine will perish. Sometimes you have to dislodge armour first before you can access the squidgy component underneath. Just be aware and always research the machine in your notebook or via your focus first. When it comes to detaching those components, if the machine has guns, detaching those guns comes above everything because in most cases than not, you can then use those guns. As you'll know if they've hit you in the preceding conflict, these guns are super powerful, whether it's you or the machine on the receiving end. I know which one I prefer. In a similar-ish point to the ones I've already made, you shouldn't be aiming to just kill machines. Whenever you can, you should be tearing off their special components, blaze or chill water to use in your own crafting. Killing machines with a huge amount of damage and destroying rare components like Claw Strider's tails or Fanghorn antlers is just a waste of your, Hephaestus, and generally everyone's time. Break off as many pieces as you can and store them for a rainy workbench. Way back in Zero Dawn, you had to buy fast travel packs or splurge on a golden one, which was pretty irritating and I had my issues with it. Forbidden West, like it's done with a lot of things, streamlines the fast travel process by letting you craft fast travel packs from your quick select menu. You can still buy them, but don't do that as they're pricey, and all you need to craft them is ridgewood and meat, which you'll have in ample supply if you follow my tip to always be hunting animals. Waste not, want not, folks. But if you don't have any crafting materials on you and you're cheap like me, you can fast travel for free from and to discovered campfires. They are everywhere, so you shouldn't have trouble finding one. Aloy gets yelled at a lot in Forbidden West, mainly by those she's busy killing, but in settlements and shelters you'll hear people trying to entice Aloy to listen to them. Keep an eye out for yells like that coming from people sat on upturned log stools. Upon beckoning you over, they'll tell you of a rumour they've heard which reveals something on your map, like a landmark, location, or quest that you haven't found yet. Look out for a green exclamation mark in a diamond in your UI to see if any rumour mongers are nearby. They're in settlements and smaller outposts, but only specific ones, so you might have to do some rumour mongering of your own to figure out where they are. Often, especially if you're like me and pick up everything just in case, you'll hear Aloy say she's sending something to her stash. This chest is a gold mine and saves you a ton of shards, and you'll find it at every single shelter and settlement. Check it before buying things like echo shells or purge water or machine muscle, as your surplus looted items that you don't have room for in your inventory go straight to your stash. Heads up, it's especially useful for restocking medicinal berries and ridgewood, without having to waste time foraging for them if you're low. Horizon Forbidden West will automatically continue after a while, even though there's an X button prompt on the screen, so don't leave it on a loading screen or, thanks to the super quick PS5 load times, I'm talking seconds there, you might come back to a very dead Aloy, which happened to me more times than I'd care to admit. Sorry, Aloy. Quick Select is God. In the bottom right you'll find it, as it has your healing via your medicine pouch and potions, and it's thoroughly customizable this time. You'll want to go in and rearrange it as soon as possible, so the most important tools for you are front and centre, rather than being randomly put in there and making you have to scroll through loads to find what you need. As a sneaky build, I keep rocks in the main slot, then have my potions to one side and my mount to the other for quick access, because All Mother knows you don't want to be scrolling through it manically in a fight. Fed up with exploring the world at night and need the world to be a bit brighter, or want to give your eyes a rest? You can pass time at shelters, taking the world from night to morning or vice versa. Jobs can be created at workbenches and in trading menus, and they're so helpful. Jobs mark the items you need on the map, as long as you've already discovered the machine site, which is just indispensable. Make them active or inactive from the menu, alongside all your other quests. And that's 17 tips you need to know for Horizon Forbidden West. Do you have any other tips for the game that you think are helpful? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, thanks very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Eurogamer as we have a new video out every single day. Now I'm gonna go turn that 80 hours into 90 hours, so I'll see you next time.